Absolutely, it's the time of our lives. Good morning and welcome to Sports Radio 360 on your Women Radio 91.7. My name is Miracle Phillip. And it's such a pleasure to be right here with you on this very remarkable Wednesday morning. I am your sports lady, and it's time for us to get into the major discussions for today. Might just be one for us to start on a celebration note, really. Oh, yes, we're gonna stand for Eniola Bolaji, who has made history as the first African athlete to win a medal in para badminton, actually securing a bronze medal for Nigeria in the women's singles SL3 category. Now, this happened on Monday morning, where Bolaji defeated her Ukrainian opponent Osanka Kozania in straight sets 2-0, 21-9, 21-9 to win Nigeria's first Paralympics medal in Paris. Now, we know that definitely Bolaji had her sights on goal, but then she fell short in the semi-final on Sunday, losing 2-0, 16-21, 17-21 to China's Zhujiang Zhao. However, she redeemed herself by clinching the bronze on a Monday, which leaves us to actually take a look at exactly what the Paris Paralympics 2024 medal table looks like. Well, China are topping currently with a total of 150 medals. Great Britain, 61. United States, 53. Brazil, 48. France, of course, have 38. Italy, 35. Ukraine, 45. Australia, 32. Netherlands, 18. Uzbekistan, we're having 14. Spain, having 25 medals. Japan, 19 medals. Switzerland, 9 medals. South Korea, 19 medals. Germany with 19 medals. Thailand with 14 medals. Colombia with 13 medals. Israel with 7 medals. India with 20 medals. And then we have here Poland with 10 medals. And when we come to the continent of Africa, of course, we've got here Tunisia having 5 medals. Ethiopia have 3 medals. Algeria have a total of 4 medals so far. And also, when we even look farther, Mongolia have 3 medals. And then South Africa having 2 medals. Namibia, 1 medal. Nigeria, 1 medal. Oh, Morocco actually having a total of 6 medals. And the list goes on and on and on. Well, you get to see that right there, but let's still see how it pans out as the competition still drives its way. Now let's come back to more news stories. It may not have been plenty of excitement really for Nigeria's we're talking about Nigeria's junior women basketball team, the Junior the Tigers, because of course they had to fall to Egypt 72-60 at the opening Group C match of the 2024 FIFA Under-18 Afrobasket Women's Tournament in South Africa. The game began with both teams living up to their reputations as African basketball powerhouses, as Egypt narrowly edged out Nigeria by single point, 21-20. That was in the first quarter. However, it seemed to have slowed down because, of course, Egypt began to assert their dominance, outscoring Nigeria by 8 points to lead 43-32 at halftime. Nigeria's Junior the Tigers showed a bit of resilience, and then, but then Egypt still maintained their lead, entering the third quarter and final quarter, I mean to say, with a 10 point advantage at 58-48. And then the fourth quarter, seeing Egypt still on that dominance and ultimately securing the 72-60 victory. And right now, as it stands, Egypt are sitting top of that group C group, and while Nigeria is in second place, followed by Uganda and Zimbabwe, and the other teams in the group have yet to play their opening matches. Now, we understand that Nigeria under 18 women's basketball team had come into this tournament as is expected, with a lot of expectations. I mean, in the qualifying series, they defeated Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire as well in Abidjan. And if we even look back in time, this team previously reached the finals of the under 18 championships in 2008 and 2010. So it's about time they make a statement, really. Or don't you agree? But then we'll see how it goes as we follow up on those games. But then there have been lots of talks about what exactly went down with Nigeria's under 18 boys basketball players. Oh yeah, this is because a lot of shades have been thrown to the South African consulate because, of course, these guys were deprived of the visa. Like, they were denied their visa. In fact, the head of delegation, Ugo Udezwe, actually confirmed that the team were later issued visas and are expected to arrive in Pretoria today. But then, it was revealed on Monday that the South African consulate at the FCT refused to grant the Junior de Tigres visas as the team missed their trip for the championship and also subsequently the FIBA World Championship. And they were actually supposed to, face Egypt on Tuesday. But then, despite all the intervention from the Nigeria Basketball Federation, which reported the incident straight up to FIBA Africa, the South African host, and Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Ministry, the young boys were still denied entry on Monday, while their female counterparts were camped in Lagos on their return from Ivory Coast, where both teams finished as winners of the FIBA Africa Zone 3 qualifiers and were granted visas. But then we'll also look at how this really goes through, because I mean, having such cases of this nature, it still really does point to what is really going on Nigeria versus South Africa. But then when it comes into the field of sports, then it's problematic because we understand that sports should be a unifying factor, isn't it? Well, there's been much talk, but really, I should bring you in with one of the news stories that made the rounds from the beginning of the transfer windows, and now we finally have something to say. Okay, our very own Victor Osimhen, all the way to Turkey. We're talking about the club Galatasaray. Well, you know how the saying goes, go to where you are most appreciated. Because, I mean, the fans of Galatasaray Club actually had to stay up all night till 3 a.m. just to wait for a cement to land in the building. Well, I tell you, apart from the fact that that has been the biggest story so far circulating the internet, the fact that finally Osimhen don't finally pretend to, at least he's not going to be sitting and laying fallow all the way till January just because he wasn't able to take advantage of the transfer window, either moving towards suitors, Al Ahly or Chelsea. Well, in line with this, and as a follow-up story, we understand that Victor Osimhen has parted ways with his agent, Roberto Calenda, amidst the whole transfer saga. Yeah, it's enough for one to actually get pissed off, by the agent's involvement. What did he do? What did he not do well for him to ensure that that transfer window didn't get to be as chaotic and dramatic as it was? But then we get to see that, of course, Victor Osimhen actually got to negotiate that loan move to Galatasaray without an agent. And as it stands right now, all has been said and done. He's also going to undergo Galatasaray medicals with the team. Of course, they will undergo his health checks. And of course, that's something that had actually been done already, as it yesterday, after he actually flew into Istanbul at the very early hours of Tuesday to the rounding applause, the invitation from a lot of fans of Galatasaray. But one thing that is also very striking about this very transfer clause in his loan deal with Galatasaray is that it will also allow him to join Arsenal, Chelsea, or Liverpool in the January transfer window. And this is according to reports from Turkey. Yes, we understand that it was most likely his dream destination to get to the Premier League and all of that, but it didn't just really work out. But then from all indications, most likely he's going to be able to make that transfer by January to any of these teams, well, if they actually indicate interest. Now, we know that Osimhen had been holding out for a move to Premier League after rejecting an offer from Saudi Pro League side Al Ahly, whose 80 million euros bid was accepted by Napoli last month. But then also, according to Turkish reports, Osimhen has kept the door open for a potential switch to the Premier League in January. Now, even as Turkish journalist Kagan Darshan noted that, most of these high profile teams are on Osimhen's list. But then this release clause with Napoli had actually been reduced to about 75 million euros. This is according to Fabrizio Romano. So most likely Napoli also retained the option to extend Osimhen's contract until 2027 if he's not sold next summer. However, as also a part of the agreement with Napoli, Galatasaray does not have an option to buy Osimhen at the end of the season. Well, many discussions about this, and lots of people would be wondering, well, at least it's better than nothing. Well, I also know that some teams would really at this point be crying because they actually expected to have Osimhen in their squad, especially with this new season when we're looking at the Premier League season and the plenty expectations, and then lots of teams looking at so far so good how they have fared. What could Osimhen have done? I don't want to mention any club right now. But then this is Sports Radio 360 on your Women Radio 91.7. Lots more sports stories for your listening pleasure. And just to let you know that you can be part of the conversation, the phone lines are 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Those are the numbers to get to call on. Yes, that's one. And the toll-free number for women is 0800 1235 917. 0800 1235 917. Don't forget our SMS and WhatsApp line, that is for women. That's the SMS and WhatsApp line actually. 0703 175 6537. Currently, it is 13 minutes after 7 on your Women Radio 91.7, and it is Sports Radio 360. Stay tuned. You are listening to WFM 91.7. Yeah. Everything I like. She structured the National Social Investment Office (NSIO) to eliminate corruption. She assured due governance followed in the award of contracts to include regulation and monitoring of payments to beneficiaries by the Ministry of Budget and Planning and other international bodies. A lawyer, Mariam Ourais, initiated and coordinated feeding and education of out-of-school children in Nigeria through the Office Children Program. Ourais was instrumental to the prohibition of marketing, promotion, distribution, and sales of tobacco to minors. Ourais founded the Isa Wali Empowerment Initiative and has provided quality education and healthcare for over 15,300 indigenous women and girls. Mariam Ourais is transparent, incorruptible, and accountable. An iconic woman of our time with an initiative that defines communication. Women Radio, Voice of Women, and supported by the Masako Foundation.
Get ready for the 8th edition of the Voice of Women Conference and Awards, BOW 2024. Theme: Achieving Women's Inclusion for a Sustainable Nigeria. Mark your calendar for Thursday, 3rd of October 2024, 9 a.m. at the NAB Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria. And be part of a national dialogue bringing together grassroots and urban women in the quest for inclusion and sustainability in Nigeria. BOW 2024 is more than just a conference, it's a powerful movement. BOW 2024, an initiative of Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio, is where diverse women groups converge to champion inclusive policies and drive national development. Insert and more durable, guaranteed, elegant, affordable home products. At Eleganza Industrial City Limited, we put you first. From plastic chairs for adults and babies, party tables and stool tables, disposable plates and cups, as well as reusable plastics, food warmers and cooling boxes, trash bins of various sizes, baby diapers, ladies sanitary care products, luggage of various sizes, hair threads, and lots more. Eleganza Industrial City Limited has got you covered with our elegantly designed products in unique shapes and sizes. Visit us at Kilometer 68, Lekki Epe Expressway, after Eleko Junction, Ibeji, Lekki, Lagos. Or you can call 081 801 99999 or 090 914 73665, or you can send us an email at eleganzaindustrialcity@yahoo.com or info@eleganzagroups.com or sales@eleganzagroups.com. You can visit our website www.eleganzagroups.com. Eleganza Industrial City Limited. The name is our guarantee. The big question.
Is depending on whether has snake and whether apple and swallowing it.
Why? Having an open conversation, controversial and borderline disruptive. The big question. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, from 12:05 p.m. only on Women Radio. What are the consequences of corruption on the woman? Silence. Silence through diverse forms. Education, healthcare, laws and policies fostering unfavorable conditions to the woman at all levels. The Woman Agenda, breaking that silence, demanding accountability, transparency, and good governance. The Woman Agenda is deliberate and calculated in amplifying the voice of women. The Woman Agenda, Fridays, 3 p.m. on Women Radio 91.7, a platform on the way forward. You're listening to the voice of women. It's not just talk, but we will take you and play everything and play them person.
Well, welcome back. This is still Sports Radio 360 on your Women Radio 91.7, 19 minutes past 7. And let's see what we can do together. Of course, there's been much talk about exactly how our Super Eagles are definitely going to play and fare ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches against Benin Republic and Rwanda. And yes, we know that these teams are coming all out for us, really. But then this announcement that interim Super Eagles manager Augustin Eguavon, who actually had to come on board taking over the Super Eagles team after the much talked about Bruno Labbadia, called it quits. Well, he has selected Fidelis Ilechukwu and Daniel Ogumodete to assist him in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches. The director of communications for the Nigeria Football Federation, Ademola Olajire, in a statement on Monday, made it known that Enugu Rangers head coach Ilechukwu and Ogumodete of Remo Stars would assist Eguavon for the two matches. And we understand that these two coaches have actually had to represent their clubs in most phenomenal heights, and one would say it's a Well deserved call up. Well, he says that the players and officials of the three-time African champions are expected in Uyo, and of course they are already all on board. There's lots of welcome address, should we say welcome applause for most of the Super Eagles teams, and we're talking about the players because we've gotten to see that Augustine Eguavon has actually led the 20 players who arrived for their first training ahead of the Benin Republic and Rwanda 2025 AFCON qualifiers. And is still very much expected is Victor Osimhen as well as goalkeeper Maduka Okoye. But then we see that William Ekong is already right there. Olaina, Semi Ajayi, Olisa Nda. We've seen midfielder Fisayo Dele Bashiru, forwards Ademola Lukman and Taiwo Awoniyi. Also goalkeeper Mars Obasoge and midfielder Wilfred Ndidi very much active in training. Victor Boniface, goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali, even Calvin Bassey and Alex Iwobi as well as Frank Onyeka all pitching in, all coming in their numbers. Al Hassan, Yusuf Abdullahi, Moses Simon, Samuel Chukwueze, all of these people have landed on board, and not leaving out Bruno Onyemechi and midfielder Rafael Onyedika all right there in camp. So the question now would be, what's going to happen on Saturday? Because of course the Super Eagles are scheduled to fly to Kigali on Sunday for Tuesday's match day to clash with the Amavubi of Rwanda. But let's also look at this even more deeply because I mean, when we shift aside from exactly what is expected with the Super Eagles, a lot of expectations about how well, how good will Augustine Eguavor deliver to the polling unit with the Super Eagles, and what makeshift can we really do? Okay, but let me just bring this in for you. Aliyu Zubairu has been appointed the Flying Eagles coach as Waffle B competition years. Yes, the Executive Committee of Nigeria Football Federation has approved the recommendation of its Technical and Development Subcommittee for the appointment of Mr. Aliyu Zubairu as the head coach of the National Under-20 Boys Flying Eagles. This appointment comes after he led El Kanemi Warriors of Madigri to win the President Federation Cup at the expense of Abia Warriors FC in Lagos in June. And this appointment takes immediate effect. Good one, really. But then I must bring you this from the foreign scene, really. And it's the news that made its way across social media yesterday. Uruguay striker Luis Suarez has announced his retirement from international football. Must been a really, really emotional one, like to be honest, because I mean, I was having getting to watch that video, and guy could not hold back the tears. Former Liverpool star Luis Suarez actually announced that retirement from international football. That was a Monday, and I mean, lots of Uruguayans were going to miss him so much because I mean, he's had so much impact for the team. And I mean, even people like Lionel Messi had come out and share their heartwarming message for his close friend and Inter Miami teammate Luis Suarez. This after he decided that what, it's going to be the end of the game for him. Well, all of that was written in Spanish, but then he says, "You are unique on and off the pitch. I love you very much." Well, indeed, farewell, really. But then a lot of people seem to be talking about putting Mbappe on the same scale as Cristiano Ronaldo, on top of expectations about how he is supposed to perform at Real Madrid. But then Carlo Ancelotti, the Real Madrid managers, come out to say he's not under pressure. In fact, Kylian Mbappe had to even say, you know what? I'm not in Real Madrid to be Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm in this to be me. Well, all of that in a language that we do not understand, but the focus of that is to say that Kylian Mbappe is really not under any pressure to score goals after he opened up his account in La Liga. I know that a lot of people will be looking out for how he will perform, but at least let's allow this guy to relax, really. All right, if you've just tuned in, this is Sports Radio 360 on your option to actually anticipate, especially as the weekend draws near. I'll be giving you all the lineups, all to anticipate ahead of the weekend. Plenty of more news stories and plenty of updates. My name is Miracle Phillip. Call me your sports lady. I'll be glad to drive this with you. Coming up at 7:30 is the newspaper review, and that will run all the way till 8:30. See you soon.
Love music. Plays all the hits. Vegas 91.7 Women Radio.